Rare July thunderstorms swept across a vast area of the Iberian Peninsula last week, particularly over Portugal, bringing much needed rainfall, spectacular lightning, and even hail up to 3 centimeters in diameter. Additionally, as all this action unfolded in the west, an intense low pressure system materialized between Poland and Estonia, resulting in historic rainfall and widespread wind damage. So now that we're a few days into August, it's starting to become more and more likely that the pattern for at least the first half of the month will be dominated by multiple powerful Atlantic systems. This will mean wet and windy conditions for many in northern and western Europe, but other hazards like outbreaks of severe storms and heat waves could become a growing concern. We have plenty to discuss in today's forecast, so without further delay, please enjoy Chapter 1. For today's featured photo, we have one submitted by Aerospot in Serbia. This is a simple yet impressive picture showcasing a growing cumulus cloud on a hot summer afternoon back in July. If you would like to submit your own picture for the next photo of the day, make sure you check the description of the video for more information. Moving on to today's tropical update, we have Tropical Storm Debbie posing a threat to the southeastern United States, so let's break this down. Widespread thunderstorm activity is occurring around the center, which is located just west of the Florida Peninsula. The current forecast from the National Hurricane Center is calling for intensification to a Category 1 by landfall. Of course, we also have to take into consideration the possibility of rapid intensification, which has become a bigger and more unpredictable issue with tropical cyclones in recent years. Whether the system makes landfall as a Category 1 or 2, the biggest problem with this storm looks to be heavy rainfall, and it won't just be for Florida. Even after landfall, other parts of the US, such as Georgia and the Carolinas, need to be just as prepared for extreme rainfall, especially if the system slows down over the area. Now, for this edition of Extreme Weather Events Worldwide, we're going to stay on the subject of tropical cyclones. In late July, a powerful typhoon impacted Taiwan and China with very heavy rain and damaging wind. The most impressive aspect of this typhoon was the unexpected loop it made off the coast, which only prolonged the heavy rain across Taiwan. In fact, just over a 48-hour period, over 1,000 millimeters of rain was observed in some parts of south-central Taiwan, equivalent to 40 inches or more. A small system moving into mainland Europe today will dive south and east on Monday and Tuesday, providing rain and storm chances as it heads down to the Balkans. We also see repeating rounds of thunderstorms and rain showers across a massive portion of Russia extending back to Finland and Sweden, but we should see all that activity slowly wind down throughout the week. Now, for the main story, we need to get the bigger picture. The area of interest is roughly between Greenland and the British Isles. As we go through the next several days, this region will remain very unsettled as the current systems continue to spin over the area, only to be replaced by new ones on Thursday and beyond. With all this activity persisting, impacts to nearby countries can of course be expected, mainly in the form of rain and strong wind. Portions of the Irish coast up to Scotland will be amongst the most heavily impacted by rain, with some places seeing upwards of 50 millimeters. Norway will have a similar forecast, especially along some of the coastal areas, and then this heavy rain can be tracked back towards Iceland, where some of the highest totals may occur. For the rest of Europe, nothing really stands out, but remember that many of these areas shaded in green will get rain from thunderstorms, which means locally heavy rain is certainly possible. This is my extended severe weather outlook for today through Saturday, August 10th. We may see some isolated severe storms in northeastern Europe, mainly from Russia into the Nordic and Baltic countries, but the main risk zone will be from eastern Spain to the Balkans. For Italy, storms could be a daily occurrence in some parts of the country. And now take a look at how rainfall may compare to average this week. Parts of Iceland to Scandinavia will be leaning towards more rain than usual, with the best chance in southern Norway. For almost everyone else, less precipitation is favored, especially in the Balkans and northern Russia. On the temperature map, below average temperatures coincides pretty well with areas likely seeing more rainfall, but I would like to point out that the southeastern portion of the United Kingdom could miss out on most of the inclement weather coming from the Atlantic, at least for this week, so if you do prefer warmer weather, enjoy this pattern while it lasts. For everyone else, temperatures should run at least slightly above average, becoming more noticeable in far northern portions of the Nordic countries, the Iberian Peninsula, and other areas surrounding the Mediterranean. The latest 10-day precipitation forecast from the European model doesn't cover all of next week, but it really puts into perspective just how much more rain could add up in some of those same places, especially the UK, Ireland, and parts of Scandinavia, as the pest from the west remains active. Additionally, a change in the storm track sometime next week could bring these systems closer to the European continent, allowing them to interact more with the hot air over the mainland. These clashes between different air masses will, of course, become a problem, creating favorable conditions for bigger episodes of severe thunderstorms. Regardless of exactly where those storms do occur, one thing that does seem more certain is the risk of heat waves. As you can see on this temperature anomaly map, this week will end with warmer than average temperatures, especially in the south, but once we cross into next Sunday and Monday, watch how these temperatures dramatically increase out ahead of these strong Atlantic lows. There's lots to nail down between now and next week, so until then, consider subscribing with that notification bell on so you never miss the latest forecast from my channel. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.